to go live.
Good evening. Welcome to your Ass Hurts News Network, coming to you live from the tip top of Cock Tower Square with your host, Sergeant Friday. Sarge, how you doing?
Well, Cletus, I can tell you that today, folks, that there was a very touching moment that took place on a different stream. A stream that's run by a woman named Cluminati, not a first and last name, nor is it two words. And it was a very touching introduction to her and her fiance, who we all have called Cletus. And you should watch her stream today and catch some of that.
Oh, are you referring to the one where she doxes herself?
And a little bit of tears and choking up, a little bit of music, and yeah. So he's on his 8th try to get married, and I don't know if she don't get it. We all need to just take her off back and show her what's up.
I'm about to caveman her ass.
Cletus, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She got enough hair for that shit.
Hold on a second, Sarge. We got technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. We got to get our third world kid that can blow up truck tires all by himself. Lips to hose, straight up. So what's going on, folks? I'm looking for 12 Gauge. 12 Gauge messaged me, asked me if I was having a stream. I think 12 Gauge may have wanted to come up. And he's welcome to come up if he, 12 Gauge. Let me go back into my text, my online text, and see if he responded to me saying, yeah, I'll be on at 9. Peter, you still suffering these difficulties?
No, we're good. We're good. False alarm.
False alarm?
Yeah. The master of moderation was trying to assume the role of, or queen of moderation, I'm sorry, was trying to assume the role of technical director and fucked it up. So.
Oh, well, one has to know their place. I think a famous actor named Clint Eastwood said a man has to know his limitations, and that probably applies to women just as much, if not more so.
Yeah.
Probably more so, right? I mean, they were given small feet for a reason. You know what that is?
What's that?
Well, so they could get close to the sink to do the dishes. Anyway.
I thought you were going to say something fucking like, they don't need support when they keep them in the air.
Well, there's that too. And there's nothing wrong with a pair of knees and shoulders getting comfortable. Just nothing. Oh my God, you people's crazy. You just dirty-minded people out there. And we only have 30 dirty minds in here. But how many people...
This is nothing, all right? I sat through fucking Big Head's second stream today, and that shit went completely off the fucking rails. So yeah.
Well, we'll try to keep this one on the rails. Did you guys get a chance to hear anything, get to see anything, get to watch any of the hearing today?
No, I did not see. I didn't see it.
It's quite interesting. Anna's got Cy Ray up on the stand, and she had last week. She had the Brett Payne up on the stand, and last week she had the other witness on the stand. And it seems like the witnesses that she puts up on the stand that are the ones that brought the case against Goldberger know less about what happened that night than Tommy Jude. Cletus?
Yeah.
I think they saw reflections and noises and all kinds of other shit that just aren't supported in the PCA.
Well, maybe Tommy is a plant by Ann Taylor to actually reveal exactly how the prosecution built the case.
I think that would be impressive. Yes, to seeing pixelated videos of people urinating on Ethan only after they killed him on Linda Lane, only to drag him back to the house. Probably urinating all the way there, right?
Maybe he is the confidential informant.
It's highly possible that he used that Chinese satellite that caught that video over there for Sebastian.
And he somehow managed to adjust the slant right out of it.
It's funny too because I do enjoy Golf Inspector in that, but the fact that Rory's back, but that they're mingling with him and that lawyer mingles with the Tommy Jude, that kind of insanity I can't even want to be around.
Yeah.
I don't want to be associated with that. I was already stuck on that stupid Paramount, even though what was exposed on me on Paramount was me doing the right thing. As I think all of you agree, I tried it. Default to what's right, not always getting there, but at least that's my default position on stuff. And I just will not associate with people that are that fucked up like that. Make up them stories. Man.
Well,
I cut ties. I can't deal with it.
I hope if they do season 2 and clip you, they get Cock Tower and you going, you're 5.62 billion fucking morons.
There you go.
Oh,
that's it.
Emmy,
maybe I ought to give.
That is your Emmy moment right there.
There. Yep, the internet is 5.62 billion fucking morons spread out across the globe, and not a one of you's got the fucking sense to do stuff together, you dumb fucks. Cletus?
Preach.
Well, I figured I would just redo it now since we're bringing it up, you know?
There you go.
If they look into a recent video, they won't have to go far. We're only a few minutes into the stream. And they too can go fuck themselves with the other 5.2 billion, just like they are, you know? Oh. Listen, I have my moments too. I get caught up in the drama and the fucking chaos and fun of the fucking what's going on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard not to when you got some little midget like T-Rev causing the trouble he's causing, right? It's hard to ignore shit like that.
What the fuck is Detective 12 at a fucking 1920s fucking musical?
I don't know, but I had to mute his ass because he's making more noise than the carnival. Are you trying to win a 25-cent toy for some girl? Come on, come clean.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I was messing
with my volume. I didn't know it was down or whatever. Am I too loud or what?
No, now you're good.
No, but there's like a radio or TV or something on in the background is what it sounded like.
Yeah, there's a TV going.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for the free.
All I heard was fuck. What's going on, Cletus? What are y'all torturing over here?
What's happening? 12 gauge.
Did you watch the hearing today?
I watched a little bit of it. I watched Brett Payne's and I watched a little bit of Cyray's.
I think the best statement of Cyray was that the PCA is not supported by any records. And it's all exculpatory, which is, I wish Dago was in here. That's what I said the first day I read the PCA. I said, there's more exculpatory evidence in that fucking document than there is accusatory. And I can't believe that they use that to arrest a guy in a quadruple homicide. I was stunned when I read that document. And apparently Cyray agrees with me. So far, and that's what I say. So far, based on the documentation that we've seen, and based on what they've given us in that PCA, the unverifiable data that we now see exists in there, which we always could see it wasn't there. You had to make the leap of faith that the cops were holding something back and they had some secret nitty gritty they were going to spring on us, which I never went with that thought ever. That's not how courts work. There is no such secret hidey hole stuff you pull out of your ass the last second. And if that happens, the cases usually get dismissed or retried, and that stuff gets banned from being put in fucking court. Anyway, what say you there, 12 gauge?
Well, I liked the fact that both of them that got on the stand, Payne and Cyray, were able to answer the questions that a lot of people have been asking. I mean, there was a lot of answers, kind of like she left Payne at the end. She was asking him, so you have no sightings of his car on South 95, and he's like, no. Okay, so she kind of slam dunked that, you know.
Does he got it on his map, putting him on South 95?
Can you say that again?
Does Payne's map that he used, does it show Kohlberger's car south on South 95?
No, it didn't. Or it did, I think. It did.
If it did, that would be what's important here. They're claiming his car is somewhere it's not. Right? It's not supported by any video. Anyway, Cletus, I suppose you didn't catch any of that today.
I did not catch a damn minute of it, Sarge.
Yeah, all we're getting is your TV 12 gauge. That's it. We're getting pounded with that TV. Multitasking mother, huh? Right? He's 11 minus 1 now. He's down to you're becoming less and less gauge there, 12. It's like he came in here to troll us or something. What the fuck?
uh,
So I think the most important thing Ray said is something that nobody listens to, especially when I think most of us, Cletus and Clue and others that are around us, right? That core group of people, we're always quick to point out that if other information comes up that contradicts what we've seen, we'll accept it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Ray said. Okay, in his own words, but that's exactly what he said. As of right now, based on what I see, it's all exculpatory for the defendant. But that doesn't mean that new data can't show up that'll go the other way and it'll be benefiting the state's argument.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something that a lot of people that scream guilty or innocent just don't seem to comprehend the value of.
So what was he were they deciding today if he was going to be able to testify, or what was the point of the hearing?
No, he was giving testimony against the witnesses that were brought in last week and Brett Payne.
Okay.
He's saying that guy said that he took a screenshot and didn't save his work.
Right.
Initially, I heard him say that those programs that he's not sure that they offer that.
Right.
That when you close the program, it says, "Are you sure you don't want to save changes or whatever?" Because you got to input data to work the program. So it's kind of like when you do a picture, right? If you throw a picture and make any change and try to close the program, it'll ask you.
Right.
Right.
No, he definitely crawled at it on his own statement on the stand last week. I don't remember much about it because I didn't really fucking care because I pretty much knew what was going to happen. And yeah, when he did that, that's exactly it. So,
I mean, what we're basically seeing is a preliminary hearing that should have occurred instead of the grand jury indictment.
Right. Well, but we're in a preliminary hearing that is in the defense's advantage because they've had time to develop and find expert witnesses and have them evaluate things, right? So it's kind of a fucking
and here's the interesting thing, but
in terms of the due process of law, I'm kind of digging what I'm seeing. It is what it is.
I want to point out to people there's only one single reason these hearings are taking place, because this is not normal. This is not the procedure to get you to trial. And you know what makes this uniquely almost amusing to me is the only reason you're hearing this testimony, folks, isn't a preliminary hearing, isn't because they're giving Brian Koberger rights he doesn't deserve or they skipped over. It's because the fucking prosecution won't turn over documentation, evidence. You see? Yeah. That's the only reason these witnesses are being presented to the court. Well, where is that evidence? Why does that evidence not equal what you submitted to the grand jury? That's what you're seeing happen here.
So the thing that I'm kind of piecing together, and maybe it's good that I'm not watching it because I'm kind of piecing together from, I feel like you bring a good synopsis of it, is that they've shown already that there were careless actions taken, and that immediately injects the doubt in the evidence that they have, that they're not turning over, which also makes me think that's why they're not turning it over, because if they did, it would show how fucking sloppy they were and possibly how much they fabricated.
Because like Ann Taylor was asking Payne, she was like, okay, are you in charge of these cameras and the investigation of it? And he was like, yeah. And then she asked him, well, where are they? And then he said, I turned them over to the prosecution. And she basically said, well, why don't I have them? Type thing. She was putting little digs out there to show that she hasn't just been nitpicking, that she honestly doesn't have this material that she needs to go to trial with.
I want to just point out something here on the screen. If this is just being a joke, that's cool. But if that's your position, I'm going to tell the chat room and the people on the stream, we will not engage people like that at all. They can stay in the chat, but they will not get us to change the conversation ever. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you're joking, cool. If you're not, well, then expect no interaction. And I expect that from everyone in the chat room. Do not contradict whatever that person says. They could tell you your mama is sucking dick this instant. Just ignore it. Okay? Remember, Sarge is still alive and kicking, and she might very well could be. You never know. So on this is interesting. Listen, this is so important that this point is a huge point that what you're seeing is because the prosecution isn't turning over discovery. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting this testimony till trial. And this is what's crazy about this case. This is essentially, yes, exactly what you would expect in a preliminary hearing. You're questioning the evidence chain, how they collected it, how it was put together, who put it together, when they put it together, where was it stored, when was it done, what are the dates of order? Was this all of that shit is preliminary hearing stuff. And you're getting that because this fucking crack smoking Santa Claus can't provide discovery to Ann Taylor. It's to me, it's the biggest irony of all. He went to
And she was also
he went to a grand jury to avoid exactly this. And look where we are.
Ann Taylor was also asking Payne about his qualification to write the cast report data in the PCA, and he basically said, "Well, I don't have the background in order to use that lingo. I got it from the FBI to I guess people in the FBI helped him write it as well. So he puts stuff in the PCA that he doesn't even understand what it means. He just kind of took somebody else's word on it and put it in there."
Well, if you guys would have listened, that's my last note that I made because I got to go back and finish it. Is that Cy Ray says the PC8 not supported by records? It's exculpatory evidence as of now. And I promise you, I wish Dago were around. He'll tell you that's the first thing I ever said about the PCA. It's the only reason I'm even around, that anybody in these areas even know that I exist, was because of that PCA. That PCA lit a fire under my ass. I was like, this is a crazy. If you would have arrested me on that, I'd have been out of jail and sued your ass by now. It probably is not true, but that's exactly what I would do when this is done. I'd sue them people. I'd own that college.
Yeah.
I'd fill it full of books and invite Cletus and the family down.
What, to keep us warm when we burn them? None of us can fucking read. Come on.
Wow.
We'll wrap our meat in them.
I suspect we can have 12 gauge read dust, and we could spend most of our time napping.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
12 gauge does have such a soothing fucking calming.
He is so relaxed. He's just like so mellow. He's awesome, man. It's a huge asset. You have a great personality. You're just mellow, but for real, man. If I can't sleep at night, I'm calling you to read through me across my Bluetooth.
It's the years of being a therapist, bro. I promise you, I haven't always been so mellow.
Is therapist the modern day term for hypnotist? Because
if so, they're not really practicing that profession well enough because the hypnotizing ain't working. You got to start hitting up some of these 5.62 billion fucking nut jobs.
Well, if I did some uppers or whatever, somebody suggested at one point, maybe my speaking and everything else would be a lot more rabid.
A lot more what?
Rabid.
A lot more rabid, yeah.
No, you don't need more rabid, bro. Not even close.
No, I think you just do what you do, man.
No, there's no one's making fun of your voice at all. For real, it's an absolute compliment. And the way your attitude is, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You see my new banner? Can you see the
screen?
I
saw it last night. Last night.
What do you think?
I've definitely been there.
Give me your therapy. Come on. I need some therapy. I'm obviously the guy at the head of the crowd.
Yeah, so, I've been there. But the only difference, I had the middle finger up, maybe two at sometimes,
I still have this desire to help my fellow man. I don't know where it comes from. It's probably misplaced by a mile, but you know what I mean? I think it's fair. There's so much we could have done for Sebastian without all this sideshow that we allowed, or we didn't even allow. That was out of our control because all these streamers jump into the sideshow. The discussion that was done in that courtroom today about how the evidence was collected, when it was collected, where is it stored, why don't we have it, all of this stuff, right, is what we've all been paying attention to that have kept saying that based on this is the reason why we're saying they're not going to convict Koberger. Not because Koberger didn't or did do it, but these people, they even admitted today that they did a proper investigation before him. They were watching him. They were tracing him. They put a pen trace on the guy. So, but
You know
you
what I
didn't start
notice,
it,
and what I
huh?
notice when Ann speaks, she's always planting seeds. She's putting nuggets out there. Like she started off by asking Payne about that coffee shop and the camera at that coffee shop, and I was thinking to myself, okay, so that's significant. She doesn't have that, and they haven't turned that over to her for a reason. There's something on that coffee shop video that is of
What,
significance,
what,
Well,
wouldn't you
what's
say?
the coffee?
let me play devil's advocate for a second. All right.
Okay.
The PCA was a lot of little nuggets, we'll say, a lot of little implications, did
Suggestions.
suggestions, right? I think there's an argument to be made that potentially we're seeing the same thing from the other side now.
Yes.
Maybe just in a little more crafty of a way, right? Instead of making the statements that suggest things, she's asking questions that she knows the answer will suggest things with.
Well, a lawyer,
But
good lawyer, will only do that.
right, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm enjoying the fact that the process is playing through, right? And
Oh, me too.
it's not just a fucking railroad. He's guilty. He's gonna fucking face firing squad. It's just a matter of getting the schedule put together and getting it done. I'm enjoying seeing the process fucking work. It doesn't get me excited for Brian going free. It doesn't get me excited for him not going free. It gets me excited because the process is working.
Exactly. Exactly.
I want to answer that question. The police and surveillance stopped. They went from June until right about when the crimes took place, and that was all the surveillance they had taken as far as his phone locations. So the answer to that question, to my knowledge, is no. They did not continue to find or see if he did that, except to the caveat that on the 23rd, I believe, they put a pen trace on him, which
Well,
tells me also, folks, because we've been saying this, all of us have said this. Why didn't they do some investigating before they got the warrant? Right?
and
We've all
I will say this in terms of the middle of the night drives, right? So if I think we have to assume that there's probably some correlation to his middle of the night drives with the 12 times he visited the area. I think there's got to be some type of correlation there. And if that's correct, then that was every 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken,
right,
based on laying it out. Well, from
right,
the time of the crime to the time that he left, there would have been only one more cycle of that before
right.
he left town. So there really wouldn't have been any data to collect except maybe one more instance. And one instance not following the pattern wouldn't be ironclad proof. Oh, okay, yeah, see, he was stalking them or anything like that. And I mean, in terms of that, we've already got Bill Thompson admitting in a courtroom that he wasn't stalking them. So it is what it is.
I got a question. It dawned on me the cycle of the moon, if they have any coincidence to what he said about taking pictures of the stars and stuff. Was he avoiding the cycle of the moon so the moon wasn't real bright? So that he could actually get a look up into the sky. Because when there's a bright moon, that does impair, obviously, your ability to see the stars in the distance, right?
Yeah.
A real dark night would be not moonlit if you want to look at the stars and other planets. I mean, you want to be on it, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
No.
her statement, that he was in Wanway Park, he goes down there for the sky, and he's got pictures to show of the night sky and stuff. That I wonder, if I was a fucking lawyer, I'd want to see if, in fact, that was his habit to go when there was no moon. Because even a break in the cloud is all you need. As long as there's no moon to light the sky, when the clouds break, you're going to be able to see all the stars. You got it? You see what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes
So,
sense.
I wonder if his phone would follow that kind of a pattern based on his alibi.
Well, it would be interesting to look at the cycles of the moon in correlation with the dates. It would be a really interesting thing to see.
Right.
Because if that were to track, then that's a plausible argument, right? Or additional material for the argument that, look, that's exactly what he was doing.
Right. And it wouldn't be an unusual thing for people that are attracted to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, people are attracted to cars, go to cruise nights.
Yeah.
Sometimes the same one all the time on a schedule, right? I mean, that's just the way we are as people. If you bowl, you're going to find yourself in a bowling alley. Even if behind there, there's a murder taking place, you're going to find a guy at the bowling alley every week or every other week, right?
Yeah. People.
Hey guys, I got to hop down here. I'm hitting the gym here in a little bit, so got to get ready for that. Y'all have a wonderful show. Thank you for having me up, Sarge. Cletus, good to see you as always.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. 11+1.
When are you going to come over to my show, man? I feel a little slighted.
Who?
Damn.
You talking
Cletus.
to me?
Yeah.
Well, let me know.
All right.
I'll
pass the word. I'll pass the
I
wire.
do catch your shows on occasion, but Clue's on the damn phone all the time live, so with somebody. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right.
She's trying to be
Maybe y'all
Beyonce
two
of the
can come
internet.
up. Maybe y'all two can come up this weekend or something,
Yeah.
Come up on panel.
Yeah, man.
All right.
I got
y'all take care.
All right.
All right, talking.
Have a good show.
All right. See, I didn't even hang up on him, Cletus. Huh. Think about it, right?
Look
Old
at
Sarge playing nice. Yes,
that.
sir.
He fucking hypnotized you till he left the room. Just so you wouldn't hang up on him. Look at that sneaky motherfucker.
Oh man, you're not very nice. But yeah, you are right. No, I think this whole process that you're seeing with Koberger it's not shocking to me, but in a way it is almost shocking because all along I was pointing out these different things and pointing to this exact problem with the way they prosecuted this or they pursued this case. And it's unimaginable that you don't have data or don't know where it is, or you tell the woman to go to the property clerk and ask. Well, why? He's the defendant's lawyer, bro. If you got information, you're supposed to provide that under that thing they call the discovery.
I think for me, the most interesting, it's the first case I've ever fucking followed from start to finish.
Okay.
First case ever, right? And I've been through court and different things, and I knew kind of the system a little bit, but not from a criminal aspect, and nothing to this fucking scale, right? And it's one of those things where for me it started out so bad, and now I'm starting to see that even though it started out bad and ran bad for so fucking long, it still can work. It just may be delayed, and it's I'll be interested in seeing the next one play through from start to finish, because it is quite interesting to see it work through the different stages and see that even though people may seem incompetent, the one that seems incompetent may actually prove to be the most competent, and it's just interesting for sure.
Well, didn't Brett Payne say after consulting with cast people, he then came up with these locations? There's just so much chaos inside of that PCA. I really am shocked that the judge didn't, and they admit they were getting subpoenas from a grand jury later on. Oh, it must have been later on. So anyway, they did get warrants prior to his arrest, and they did get the pen trace prior to his arrest. Why didn't they swab this guy or go open up his apartment, get the apartment manager and open it up and go in there and search it? Why didn't they ask the kid to look at his car? I mean, the thing is, it seems to me like they made some kind of conclusion, and I think it was tunnel vision. I think they really thought, and today, I think I was confirmed by the statement that the FBI, when they came up with the other year vehicle, was showing a different picture. You see, I've been saying that for a long time, that there really is an 11 and 13, and there really is a 14 to a 16. There's literally two different cars in this case.
So that's what he said.
They're both Elantras, bro.
So when they revised the model, it was because they were presented a different picture than what they were.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I said. It wasn't a review of the data that he made.
Why did y'all have to make Sarge right? Fucking hell, we'll never hear the end of this.
Hey, you better tell Clue to be nice to me. I was so nice to you two in the beginning of this show because I really meant it.
No, it's made a lot of sense. I mean, it has, and I hadn't really doubted it because it makes fucking sense. It's a very logical theory that seems to now be proven. So, That's
And it's a tragedy because those victims.
yeah, it is. It really is. And you know,
This is a,
I don't know that it's so much tunnel vision. I do think tunnel vision is part of the problem here, but tunnel vision shouldn't bypass due process, right? Just because you think you've got the fucking guy doesn't mean you should bypass a thorough process going through things.
Here's what I'm hearing in this case, just so you know. This is what I'm hearing. Everybody was a chief. There were no Indians. You see? And everybody did their own thing, and then everybody gave their own understanding of their own thing, and there was no central scrutinizer. No matter what that crazy bitch claims, there was absolutely no central scrutinizer, be it on Linda Lane, here in manhole covers, or associated with this investigation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of Tommy Jude's fans or fames or somebody else put out on their stream, that lunatic.
I don't know if it's a matter of all chiefs and no Indians, or maybe all Indians and no chief, until the chief came around and said, "Look, motherfuckers, you're going to arrest somebody."
well, bro, no. Payne has got a different understanding as some of the things that we are aware of. And then the other investigator, he doesn't know where stuff is. Payne doesn't know where stuff is. Payne said, listen, I'm telling you, everybody thought they were the chief, and there were no Indians.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's what it looks like to me. I've been in situations like that. Have you ever been around where everybody's going to be alpha and do their own thing and nothing ever turns out right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're working on a project as guys.
Yeah. I've been there.
Right? You can't all be fucking chief, bro.
Yeah, and I'm the asshole that sits in the background and just waits for all of them to fuck up, and I've already done their job, and I'm just waiting for them to fuck up so that I can finish.
But they didn't have nobody to check if they had fucked up, or they wouldn't have done what they did.
Yeah.
I can't get over the fact that they didn't pursue Mr. Kohlberger before they ever charged him and arrested him in Pennsylvania. As a matter of fact, I'm rather stunned that the minute he left state lines in any direction outside of Washington and Idaho, that they didn't immediately apprehend the man. Just think about that, bro. They had a pen trace on him. They knew where he was. So if he crossed, and he did he not leave the state and go to several different states and then cross the country? Come on, man. I'm besides myself with what some of the stuff Officer Payne said, what that other guy said, the cast guy, and I'm besides myself with Cy Ray's statements to it, because Cy Ray is giving you the information that you would need to make conclusive arguments or statements, or provide supporting fact to your accusation that car was there, and without that information, without your work to show that car was actually there, then I don't know, man. Key video from around the scene, from around the murder scene, is still not being given to her. That's crazy. What key video? Is that key video going to show a 2011 to a 2013 Hyundai Elantra? Because if it does, oh boy. Well, right? That's basically what you're hearing. That's what you're hearing today, is that's what it's going to show, even though they don't have the video.
So if what Ann Taylor is setting up in terms of suggestions through testimony, then what it would appear is they're trying to hold out as long as possible until it's either thrown out, the deadline for discovery comes around, and then they're going to push to have the trial quickly.
You heard that lady say that other lady came up and said that they're going to file motions to suppress. Those motions are coming. Okay. But listen, Ann was not making suggestions about anything. She was very clear in her storyline of what she's laying out for the court to hear.
Well, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not disputing what she said, right? But did she bring any presentation to show the storyline, or is it just
because they were unable to provide what she was asking for? You see, and they couldn't answer the questions that were pertinent to the case's investigation.
I got you. I'm with you.
So in this situation, lack of evidence is evidence itself. Okay. You're talking about the government not being able to provide key data to support the accusation. Kohlberger drove around that house.
Yeah.
Right? That's a key piece of information, right?
Right.
Where is it? Well, you got to go check with the evidence guy. No, man. You know
Yeah,
what I'm trying? You come to
gotta
my
go
store and
check.
ask for a pizza, and I tell you, you gotta go check with the dough guy. You're like, what? Then you gotta go find the sauce guy, the cheese guy, and the oven guy, because they're all different places.
Oh.
That's how we fucking do our policing in Idaho. We got 11 locations to make a pizza with 9 toppings. Don't ask what the other 2 locations are for. Even we don't know.
Oh, fuck.
Holy fuck, these people are awesome. Oh, our country is a fucking, oh, what a shambles we're in. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they convicted President Trump of something up here in New York again.
Yeah, I saw that today.
I'm not really, I didn't follow it too much, but I,
Well, the funny thing is, right, like, at the end of the day, other than whatever bullshit was going on in the background of it, the outcome of it, I really don't fucking care. Because
but can I say something that's kind of funny? You want to hear some irony? I love irony, in case you didn't notice.
yeah,
Okay. Here's it. And I don't care if you don't like politics or not. You need to fucking listen to this, okay? Because it's got nothing to do with Trump or fucking Biden. I don't give a fuck who's president. Anyway, they investigated President Biden and discovered that more than $5 million of money was taken from Ukraine and given to him through shell companies. This is an absolute investigative conclusive fact. And they passed on prosecuting him. Okay? And they did cite some fucking medical issues and memory issues and stuff. Okay? This is true. This is not a fucking story. Now, Trump had the chance to take these people down because of the crimes they were committing, and he didn't take it. That's why they're doing to him what he did. He was stupid not to take it. He should never have not pursued all of these past people that were and not just the presidency, but in Congress and in the Senate, because they're all connected to some kind of money laundering scheme. And most Americans will agree with that. Yeah, we know they're corrupt. They're prosecutable corrupt. Okay? And he didn't even attempt to clean that system to put himself in a position to do that. And what you're seeing happening to him now is they're now wielding the law against him. And woe be them, I hope, woe be the corrupt if he does get elected and he is truly going to do what any normal human being would do that's just had all that done to them, right?
yeah.
If criminals use the justice system to criminalize you, then certainly it's behooving upon you to put those criminals in jail, not because of what they did to you, because that's what the system is for. Fair enough?
Yeah, I don't believe he'll be elected. I think there's going to be I think what they did today is honestly more in his favor in terms of winning favor than anything. But I also don't think he's going to win the election. I just don't. I feel like, to me, the timing of this and everything is more just a part of the preempt.
I think what you're going to see,
the lay in the ground for the outcome.
you're going to see a 2016 again, Cletus. Just follow this thought, okay?
Okay.
There isn't many people that support Biden openly. Fair enough?
I would say it's accurate. Yeah.
Okay. And there were even more people that were vocal that supported Hillary when she ran. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
And Hillary lost because they didn't like Hillary.
Right.
Not because she was a woman. A lot of people just didn't like her, didn't trust Hillary. Because, first lady, she started with the healthcare. It failed. She pushed her nose in all the presidential business. Then she got to be a senator and then made the agreement with the Iraq war and did all this other crazy stuff. People just didn't trust her. Right? And so she lost to Trump. And I think what you're going to find in this cycle is people know that Mr. Biden, whether it's true or not, comes off as compromised when it comes to his cognitive abilities. Right? And everything has gone crazy. The economy, everything has gone crazy. Everything's expensive. Cars. I was leasing a truck for $199 a month. Brand new truck. 4-wheel drive V6 Silverado. At the end of that lease, okay, in 2023, to lease that same truck now would be almost $600 a month.
Yeah.
People know. In other words, people now know what they're getting with Joe. And I don't think people want to even try to risk another 4 years with him. That's the basis under which Trump will win. He'll do it the same way he did the first time.
Well,
the last time he had too many people vocally hating him.
I would have thought the same thing about Obama not winning a second term.
Well, no, they got Mitt Romney in the end when he started pointing about all the Democrats and welfare recipients and blah blah blah. That nailed Romney. That came the last 2 days of the election.
Gotcha. I didn't
That took
follow.
Romney down.
I didn't
Yeah.
follow it, but I was just comparing, my thoughts on Obama's first term and how the fuck he won a second one. But I didn't know the other candidates. So
No, it was Mitt Romney, and he actually said some derogatory things about people on welfare and stuff, and it was held until the last couple of days of the election, and then played to
Gotcha.
the public, and he couldn't defend himself.
Yeah. Well,
And that's how Obama won the second term. But here, again, here's what you heard me say this, right or wrong. I'm a master at using people's words back on them.
yeah.
And that's what they did to Mitt Romney. They took his own words and beat him over the head with his own words.
Huh?
That's too funny, man.
That's why these fucking politicians need to be more transparent in front of the fucking camera. That way,
Yep.
nothing's a surprise.
And it's like I my main reason for this channel is just to remind people and keep pointing out to people, if we act together and just do something good for all of us, who cares who we are? You don't need to even know what the other person looks like. But there's a ton of things we could do. Sebastian Rogers, look at all the locations that were missed and all the attention and all the money that was spent on these idiot creators that you could have used to produce flyers or billboards or hire the Cajun Navy or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something. And it all got just thrown out the window because of people like fucking T-Rev and Dolly and Blowhorn Betty and all them fucking lunatics. Right?
Oh,
even JLR coming in to try to attack Chris to get Tris to do an interview with him. He was one of the problems too in the beginning.
Let me educate you on some fucking really, really, really dumb shit that little Mr. Jimmy Williams pulled today. So he goes live, right? And he says, we're in Hendersonville. Well, no, you're not, motherfucker. You're on I-40 and you're on the east side of Knoxville, the best I could tell from the fucking reflection off of the windshield that was showing in the reflection on the fucking back glass because he had a camper top on. And when I saw the interstate sign, I'm like, yeah, you're not in Hendersonville because the interstate doesn't run through the motherfucker. But then he proceeds to say, yeah, this morning we got up and, we were sitting at this TA truck stop out at Greenville. Well, he said mile marker 15. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that would be Greenville. I know where that TA is at. And then he said, and I'm sitting there and he said, damn, if this kid don't come walking in front that looks just like Sebastian. And he's like, not so much just his looks, but his mannerisms and everything. And he said, he said, I was just like, what the hell? And I'm sitting there watching him talk about this. And I'm like, what did you do? I'm like, I'm getting fucking excited. I'm like, hell yeah, this is great. I mean, it's fucking odd, but hey, whatever, good. And he's like, but I don't know. I don't know if it was him or not. And he's still driving down the road. And he's like, I don't think it was him. He's, basically saying, I'm assuming people in the chat were going, did you call TBI? Did you call it in or whatever? And then I could tell him he was sort of reading it. And that may have been what was going on. Cause he was like, I just don't think it's him, y'all, but you don't know. It could have been. I'm like, you've been talking about this missing kid for 3 months, and you're going to get on the internet and allege to have spotted somebody that looks like him and acts like him, but you did nothing except wait several hours per your timeline to get on the internet and talk about it. Really? I was blown the fuck away. I'm like, and this motherfucker is what people flock to.
Yeah.
And people wonder why this poor boy has not been found.
There's power in being accepted among a group. And that's, I think, sadly what happens. And that's why I think we can all be led by sheep. I think that's why there's so many different religions. Right? There's so many differences. For some reason, all of those differences force us that in some primal way to want to be part of a group. And I think these people initially got involved with some of these streamers. Maybe they started out on the up and up. Or maybe this guy Dolly. I don't know this guy. I've never even seen him until this case. A lot of these creators, I never know who Bullhorn Betty was. I didn't know I thought that was a joke when people would say that I wasn't getting. I don't know who that woman is or Terry or any. I don't know any of them. I never watched their streams and didn't know they existed until this. And all I know about them now is that they're very comfortable tearing into someone's past to make them and accuse them of being a fucking disappearer of a child.
Well, and
even though the evidence tells them the complete opposite, yet they still find fucking the time to do what they're doing, and oh, it's just sick, man.
the thing I think is one of the big takeaways from this case, and anybody that's followed it, is you don't necessarily have to follow a leader to take action, right? But if you're gonna follow somebody, make sure it's not another fucking idiot.
Right.
I mean, because you're going to take you and the 5.62 billion of you right off the fucking cliff that motherfucker's headed for.
And
Yeah,
you know, the T-Rev, the meltdown of T-Rev, this is not the first time that's happened to this kid, isn't it? Didn't he have that meltdown with John? Now he's doing it again.
I don't know. He's a fucking titty baby. I mean,
I don't know what attracts people to see that. I mean, it's almost like maybe we should. Maybe I think one of the first things we should work on, and if anybody in the chat is able to help, maybe we should work on some kind of a petition people can sign to demand these companies release us from these intrusive fucking user agreements on our identities. Right? I mean, I'm big on that because I think that's a place we can win without even having to fucking do anything but click on something. And Lord knows that 5.62 billion love fucking clicking on shit. Cletus.
Well, I think the first thing is getting something presentable that people can follow along with to fully understand it. Because I'm kind of fucking slow, and I know there's a lot of people out there like me, and it took a minute for me to grasp what you were throwing out there with that. I didn't discredit it or discount it, but it took a minute for me to fucking fully thoroughly process it, right?
I'm never self-grandizing, so I don't want to call it a brilliant plan, even though it's fucking brilliant. Yeah, you're right. And it's brilliant. And if you give it a little bit of thought, you'll see just how brilliant it is. But the user agreements that they force you to subscribe to, even McDonald's, when you use their app, they want all your personal information. And then they use that personal information to market to you. It's unrelenting. And they trade it off amongst themselves and sell it back and forth. Okay. So anybody that's a big purchaser of stuff is a very popular person. But the more they do this, the more your ID is exposed and it could end up on the dark web. And that's where you end up with identity theft. That's where you end up with your homes being stolen from you and serious problems. Your money taken from your bank, your cards ran out or maxed out. You see that identity theft happening. What do they say? Every 15 seconds? And it's because you have just submitted to give all your data to these companies. We need to demand. Start with one target company and demand that they protect your identity, or we take our business somewhere else. You only need one win. And you need to get that privacy back. You don't need somebody trying to market to you and find out how often you buy gas and where you go, when you go. And so that they could target with more advertising. You don't need to live a life like that. Fair enough, Cletus?
No, I agree. And I mean, what I'm talking in terms of.
God damn it. Listen, please. I bought a lawnmower. I didn't want to sell you my life, you fucking
motherfucker. You interrupt me one more time.
I'm just saying, man, I'm getting mad over here.
Oh. You bought a lawnmower and what?
I didn't want to give him my whole life. I just wanted a fucking lawnmower.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the point about the user agreements is a great number one. I think it is a great start because I think it has a huge impact. I think it's hard for people like me to see the full scale of the impact of it, but I also think it's hard for almost anybody to see the absolute the far-reaching impact other than the individual impact that it would have, right? Because I think that's the part that's easy for people to grasp, but the far-reaching impact in terms of how it impacts all the players and things like that you've laid out, I think is important too. And I think if you lay that out, then you've got something to base a petition and a movement on, right?
Yeah. No, it's a little more complex than getting it rolling, but I think the biggest thing is to pick a company that you can have an impact on where you don't need 50 million people. That to me is the first trick.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
You wanted a company that will be noticed, but maybe just by a little larger of a community, and then you could pull another company from that little larger group.
Yeah.
Until you get enough followers, but you need one victory in one place, and then like anything, it'll spread like a virus. So long as the people that once you experience a victory, there's no downside to this victory. That's the best part. It's only downside the way it is now. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Everything about trying to sign up for anything or buy anything is downside for the consumer. So any victory that's upside should be welcomed by all walks of life.
Right. No, I don't
Right.
disagree
And I shouldn't
with
have
that.
to be paying, I shouldn't have to be hiring companies like Life Alert, who's then, we protect your data. Yeah, I'm sure you don't. All these companies spring up to protect your ID because your ID is being taken by all these companies to use your ID and spread it around the world. And then you wonder why your identity was stolen. Fucking morons. What do you mean you wonder why? Right, but people really do. They wonder why. How'd that happen? I don't know. You live life and you just click on shit. And that's what you got. Anyway, Cletus. So when's the date? You guys were talking about wedding. One of the plans, one of the dates. Where's it going to be?
I don't know. It'll literally be one day. She turns on the fucking live stream and it's been done. We've gone to the courthouse and it's happened.
That's how it's going to be.
I would say most likely that will be the course of action that will go down.
Folks, do you hear that? We're just going to get all over.
I don't know. You never can tell with Clue.
Dude, I just want an invite I can decline.
Like literally, she can't plan to sit the fuck down and watch a show. I mean, right now, she's supposed to be moderating this one, and I guarantee you she's been in 4 different streams and having 14 conversations via text, Facebook, and Discord, all at the same fucking time, and coming in here twice to interrupt us to tell me the silly shit that's going on. So
and those are your technical difficulties.
She can't commit to a 5-minute fucking plan, let alone making a plan on a fucking date in the future.
Holy shit. Well, then just, I don't know, buy some fucking, I don't know.
She's loyal as fuck.
Put her in the truck and take her something. Just put her in the truck and stop somewhere. That's all.
She's loyal as fuck to everything but a schedule.
Well, she's got a schedule on her own time, which is perfect, man.
Right, yeah.
That's the way to live.
I think she would look at it different than most of us, right? The world revolves around her. And if you doubt it, fucking spend some time with her.
Dang.
Oh, fuck.
Did you see when the question came up, are you my son?
What, in the stream today?
Yeah.
No, I was trying to work and look at it on occasion.
Someone said, Sergeant, I'm really Cletus's father. And I said, you're all my children. 12 gauge, I need therapy.
Sarge fucking Appleseed.
Jesus, good Lord. Help us, children. Help us. She's looking for her plane. What does that mean, she's looking for her plane?
Oh, Clue.
What plane?
Well, Duchess has the bus, so she had to have the plane. You wasn't in there, I don't think, when she was talking about. Yep, we're gonna call it Clue 757.
You guys are gonna get a Trump plane?
No, it's just a fucking joke because everybody says her and Duchess and nonsense have this MLM, which I still don't know what the fuck that stands for.
I got a question.
I swear
to
God.
Was it Dirty Foot Dolly driving his camper?
So he's got a 2000 or 99 2004, somewhere in that range model or that generation Chevrolet with a camper top on the back of it.
Pickup truck or a van or what do you mean?
Pickup truck. It's like a Chevy 1500. He's got a fucking picture of the sumbitch on his.
So he's got to slide into the box camper on it?
Yeah.
Wait, he said he had a camper like Chris Proudfoot.
He did, but yeah, I mean, you can see the fucking pictures of his address with that fucking 1982 fucking Dodge or whatever the fuck it is.
Fucking win a bag owed me. Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one his fucking brother is probably staying in.
All right, so wait a minute. So his idea of a Chris Proudfoot trailer is a pickup truck with a slide-in camper top?
Yeah.
Dude, that mosquitoes won't even go near something that fucked up.
The
Like,
fucking
nah,
the
if you
funniest
sleeping in there, we ain't even gonna bite you.
listen, Clue is so fucking bougie. When he was showing, he had done a live from it, from the inside of it, and when he went off, she was like, "How the fuck has he got a window unit air conditioner in that bitch?" And I'm like, "You cut a fucking hole, you stick it in there." I've had a pull behind camper that I did that with before.
You mean to tell me the central the what?
Yeah, he's got a window.
Listen,
He's got
I'll get pictures. I had a boat that I used to cross the lake with,
yeah,
and it had central heat, central air,
yeah.
oven, stove, yeah, everything. 2
No,
showers,
no, this is a
master
fucking
bedroom.
this is a box that fits in between. It's a slide-in fucking camper.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. This, if you listen, folks, if you want to go camping and not get bit by mosquitoes, get in one of them old motherfuckers, okay? Because the mosquito's smart enough not to bite the kind of people that sleep in there. It just knows better. That's the most bullshit camper you could buy, bro. You might as well have a fucking tent.
I mean, I ain't judging the motherfucker on his camper, but I will laugh at him if he's going to
Well,
say, "Well, I got campers," and compare himself to Chris Proudfoot.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm making fun of
Yeah.
him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
No,
gonna
I
make
mean,
fun-
come on,
I'm
man.
going to make fun of him for claiming that what did he say? He said, on the road to Hendersonville, and I'm like, motherfucker, there is no direct route. It's not like you're right down the fucking road from Hendersonville. You're an all day fucking drive from Hendersonville. What are you talking about? And he kept saying, yeah, we're in Hendersonville. I'm like, you're fucking high. You
maybe
don't
he's
even know
coming
where
down
the
to
fuck
visit.
you're at.
Is he coming down to visit with T Rev?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess
Maybe.
we'll all fucking gather together and have a bonfire and sing Kumbaya.
Sing Kumbaya.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
He's
Listen,
liable to get
I
fucking
think
lost.
it's the worst thing about this is poor Sebastian.
It is.
But in the YouTube screets, it was said to me by a very wise guy that's very humble about it that this is going to turn into a circus if it doesn't get solved quickly.
Well, I
And
can say
it was never a more predictive statement, more clear, more accurate statement than I've ever heard in my life. Because I like I said, I'm new to true crime. I've never been involved with any missing children. And yet when he said that, the wisdom was like, yep, you're right, Cletus. And look what happened, man.
And I got it. There has been one positive that I'm just taking from the day that I'm excited as shit about. We're at like $2,100 toward the billboards, and we hadn't even got the motherfucker completely set up yet. But yeah, we had a $1,000 donation toward them today, and then I saw another $100 donation toward them pop in on her phone after she closed the stream, and we're putting 1,000 in on it. So I know we're at least at 2,100 and haven't even done the fucking fundraiser yet. So
good deal.
there is still positivity going on with it in the midst of fucking circus during the intermissions, right?
Yeah. The brief intermissions.
Brief intermissions.
Listen,
so
these people are either too stupid. They're either too stupid to not know when to shut up. Okay. And that's possible. But even when they do attempt to shut up, then some other calamity befalls them that becomes public, right?
Yeah.
It's a never-ending stream of chaotic drama that doesn't do anything for anybody but put a few dollars in these morons' pockets. If it were just straight up comedy, these guys are entertainment. But when you're talking about serious issues of 4 homicides and a missing child, and these are serious issues, you don't do what these people are doing. It's just
and you got a motherfucker making streams about a missing kid that nobody knows where the fuck he's at any given point in time because he's running from fucking child support office. What's you can't write the irony in that shit.
He's a missing child himself. His knees have yet to grow, and no Negro on him. Unbelievable.
Oh, fuck.
You're right. This guy's too short to pay child support. He can't even reach the counter to sign the form. Holy Christ, you're right. T-Rev is a missing child. Someone ought to put out an Amber Alert on T-Rev.
Maybe that's why he hasn't fucking, had to pay yet. He keeps signing the ADA forms and they don't know what to fucking do about it.
Yeah. You show a cop a picture of a missing child. Well, this kid has a beard. Well, yeah, all men in our family have beards starting at 10. Unbelievable. Poor T-Rev. I don't even know. Look, I don't know. We all have our faults. Look, we're all fucked up in our own ways. But the best thing to do is not to heap them in the laps of other people that are suffering a tragedy. That's just my advice. I don't know if it makes any sense to anybody else, but that's all I got. What about you, Cletus?
I don't know. I'd say we all got reasons to fucking dislike and want to slap the shit out of each other, but when it comes to these tragedies, we got to remember we can slap the shit out of each other after we solve the problem.
Right, after we do something to help come to some kind of conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not along the way you got to shit, stomp, trample, kick, spit on all kinds of people along the way. It's like, really? What's that all about, bro?
It's like an obstacle course, right?
Now they're trying to dox you too. It's almost like, wait a minute, what the fuck's happened to this world?
Yeah, we got doxed by a baby alien, a baby fucking gray who just hadn't developed his color yet.
Dear God. And he stole Seth's girlfriend.
Yeah, he's fucking stole Seth's girlfriend, who wasn't his girlfriend, but was his girlfriend. I don't know. I think they had a fucking pyramid scheme going or some shit in a different way.
I don't know what they had going on. I don't want to know. And you know something? It's their shit. Let them enjoy that. But it should be part of his missing kids fucking investigation. Right? Yep. I don't need to know the real life of T-Rev 757, whatever his real name is. I don't really, you know what I mean? If he's there to entertain. If he's there to give you facts on true crime, do that. That's but all right. The he's like sideshow fucking Bob.
Yeah. And if you're in his stream and he's playing the drama game, just fucking type in the chat, look, dance monkey.
Dance monkey. Right? No, you don't want to hear any shit out of him till he gets at least 5'6". There's a motherfucker you can't even look at in the eye when you're arguing with him. You got to kneel the fuck down.
He's never
that big of a dude. Look, I'm like,
one advantage of him is he has never suffered the negative side effects of others' halitosis.
This guy gets dizzy stepping up on curbs when he crosses the street. It's absolutely incredible.
Oh fuck!
Ties his shoes without bending over. What the fuck, man?
Cousin All right, Sarge. It's been over our hour.
Yeah,